Everybody, welcome to another entry from scratch to scratch. Got my buddy Jesse Riley over here. Jesse, you're too tall. He's 6'4". Yeah, okay. So Jesse's visiting from Mississippi. Got my dad over there. Pa, say hi.
Okay, man.
Yeah, he's gonna tee off. So we are about to play, and yeah, have a good one. Okay, so first off, you're gonna see a couple shots that I just simply didn't get a chance to record. Actually, my swing shot didn't record them, so I blame that machine. So here, drove on this par 5, drove right into the bunker on the right, hit it really good, just but then the recovery shot out of the bunker, just hit it solid, down close to the 150 mark. So here I've got about just a little bit over 160, pins in the back, so about 165. So I pull out a 6-iron here, and I'm just trying to go dead at it, kind of to the right, but here I basically pushed it. It's been kind of my miss lately. And while I have time, I want to let you guys know I've definitely been keeping up with Jim's swing on the driving range, but when I'm playing my courses or playing on the course, I'm just using my regular swing, and just kind of using what works, but not really trying too hard with it. Okay, so I didn't really use Jim's swing on this one just because I was playing with my dad and playing with Jesse. I wanted to kind of compete. I wanted to hit the ball at a decent range, and so you're gonna see that is more of my traditional swing. And so it's not saying I'm giving up on Jim's method. I just haven't gotten to the range in a minute to really kind of take to heart kind of the things he's given me feedback on. So I didn't want to spend the entire day just kind of focused on trying to self-diagnose the whole time. I wanted to kind of just enjoy the round, enjoy the time with my buddy that Jesse that I never get to see. So it was really important that I get that out of the way. So here I've already made a mess of this hole. I finished that with a double bogey, just missing my flop shots there, and just not really warmed up. It wasn't the best of holes there. So here on number 2 is a par 4, and it's a really short par 4. I should really be getting this a lot closer, but I actually hit the tree on my first drive, and so I took another drive, and this is where I ended up. I pretty much went right through the fairway, but it was still a good strike. And here from about inside 100 yards, really felt great about this one. Just aiming right at the pin, missed it just on the right side, unfortunately on top of this hill. So this is for par, and it's a slight right to left putt, and so I'm really just hoping just to kind of get it close. That's the ideal position there, just to let it kind of fall down. So I was happy with that, even if it was a bogey, but I recovered nicely, and I had an opportunity there for, to make my par. So here another short par 4. I just got my 3-wood out, and I hit it really solid. What I'll say about the traditional swing I brought in, I was hitting the ball really solid. Sometimes I'd push it, but I had 1 or 2 hooks. That was it. The rest of them were just slight pushes. And here the swing shot didn't pick up my approach shot from inside 100 yards, and I really hit this solid. And then the putt, I just misread it. It was a little bit more straight, slightly to the right. But that was, that's a par, and this would begin kind of my par streak, which is why it's tough to not keep trying with this traditional swing, just because I know what it's capable of, and I know where my misses are going to go and why. Here's a 9-iron from 135 yards. The pin's in the kind of middle to front, and I didn't hit it pure. Hit it slightly thin, but the thin was still a good shot. And you see me right there, pin high. I've got a downhill birdie putt. I see Jesse's ball where he chipped, and my dad over there where he chipped as well. They both missed theirs short and right. So I was the only one on the green, which was a good sign. I was kind of hidden to the right spot. And here, from a decent mark away, just wanted to really get close here, and I just left this birdie putt short. The one thing that was really letting me down this round was my putting, which usually is not the case whatsoever. But this time I've definitely, had a little struggle with it. So here on a short dogleg par 4, dogleg left, really short. So I hit driver because you want to get deep enough because there's trees on the left-hand side, and you have to kind of play around with them if you don't. But of course, I still find myself in the trees. I actually hit it really solid. I just, wasn't aimed to the right spot. Slight push. Overran the fairway as well, so but not bad. And here I was really happy with this shot. Hit the 50-degree, nice and low. It bounced into the bank and came up onto the green, as you can see. And here another birdie opportunity. Can't see the hole, but it's a decent ways away. You'll see it. I really hit this solid. This is probably one of my best putts, and good tempo and everything. I look up and you can kind of see it as the ball's trickling over there, and I miss it by just a couple inches. So another par. I can't be too upset with that. And here on a very short par 3, about 112 yards, I've got my 50-degree as well. It's kind of downhill. I just want to hit solid. I get it a little bit on the toe, but it's actually right at the hole, and you can see I ended up really close. And so here I read the putt. I looked to dead straight, just based on everything I was looking at, and I really wanted to make this birdie. I've had a couple opportunities already, and just a really weak kind of putt, a really guiding putt, because I wasn't sure exactly where it may go, and it turns out I went hard to the right. So missing that one definitely hurt. But again, another par. So there's a lot of positives there. Here's the par 5. It's goes downhill and then goes uphill, and this is my best drive, and just hit just solid. I don't really know how far it was, but I had about 210 back into the second shot there, and this is my third shot because the swing shot didn't pick up my third. Actually, I didn't record my second shot, but yeah, it's a good opportunity here, and another birdie opportunity. After a decent pitch shot there, this one's going to curve slightly right to left, and I really was feeling good about this, and it just creeps just past the hole, or just before the hole actually. So another par. I was on a great streak there for a couple of pars, and so I've got another kind of dogleg left here. If you can hit pretty much dead straight, it's another short par 4. A lot of the courses you'll see me play are pretty short on the par 4s. I mean, I play the whites, which is about the handicap range of double digits, so no point in playing anything lower than that if I haven't broken 80 in a very long time. So here my drive wasn't very good. My second shot was a punch out of the trees, and then I punched it again to this spot, and then I flopped it sort of there. And then here was for a bogey, and I just misread that. Actually, that was for par. No, that was for bogey. Sorry. And then this was for double bogey, and I thought I made this one, but it missed. So I basically had a triple bogey. So where I didn't get pars, I really struggled, because that was a 7 on number 1, a 5 on number 2, and then a string of pars, and then number 8 had that triple right there. And then here, pushed out to the right again, had a punch out, and so this is my third shot. Feeling really good, just of what it was looking like, and I kind of come out of it. That's kind of my weakness with the traditional, conventional style of my swing. And here, just want to kind of flop it up there, hit it good spot, but avert your eyes here. And about, this is the worst right here. And there's a little shank, and that is the worst. And I told myself that's a shank. I haven't done that in forever. And with Jim's method, I won't do that. So that's something, just more. It's kind of more validation of why I'm using Jim's method, and this is maybe just one of those rounds. It's like a growing pains that you kind of have to go through, kind of see what's out there, so that way I'm not always wondering, oh, if only this, if only that. So I can probably combine the 2 in a way. So there's just some things I'm thinking about doing. But here I hit this just solid, an 8 iron after having to punch out yet again from about 145 yards because it was in the rough. Another great opportunity here. This was for par. And oh no, sorry, that was for birdie actually, because I had enough room, and then I made a par. So again, push it again on number 11 here. I mean, you can tell, guys, I'm hitting them really solid. And you hear the sound of it; it's really solid strike, and especially my irons, which I really love. It's just I hit it so well. I kept telling Jesse that because we were riding together. I kept telling him, hey, I'm hitting these solid, and then you see that right there. Like that, I don't know if Jim's method could get the ball up that high because I've been hitting them so low, and you can't afford that on this hole because there's a false front with rocks there, and you really got to get it up in the air. And I actually overhit a 9 iron, and then I kind of chipped it. Felt like it was pretty close. It wasn't quite down the hill as I thought, and then kind of a weak putt, and so that's a double bogey right there. Here, an 8 iron from about 143 yards. I didn't hit it solid, but I hit it in the right direction. And Jesse was telling me it was a lot closer than I gave it credit for, because I thought I had missed it pretty bad. And I actually had a great chance here for birdie. A decent putt there, good pace on it. And so another par. And here, very very short par 4. Hit this solid. You hear Jesse say that'll work, and it was definitely a solid drive. It just ran out of fairway. And here, if you see my kind of flop / pitch shot, it's kind of where I'm more inside and then kind of come out again on it, kind of like a Stan Utley kind of thing. It's been working really good for me. And here's another birdie chance, and I just misread it. But going back to the pitch, I just kind of have used that really well. My bunker play's been really good, and that's unheard of for me. So here's a really short par 3, about 115 yards downhill. There's a lot more wind up there than I initially thought because I've got my 50 again here, and I just hit this just solid, guys, just perfectly compressed, and really felt great about it. Just so happy with it, and then so disappointed because I missed it so badly. And this is, my little bump and run with the pitching wedge. Retrospect, I probably should have used a 56 degree and just lofted up there and let it roll through, because I just wasn't, 100% committed to this, and I hadn't chipped this way again. And you can see really kind of jumpy, my right arm taking over, and that ball just kind of flies through. So on the comeback though for par, look at that, make a long putt finally. It wasn't a birdie, but it was still definitely felt like a birdie. Here, hybrid on a par 5, hard dogleg left, par 5. Just wanted to hit it solid. I didn't really hit it that great, but I got it in the fairway, and I just need to lay up anyways. That's what you need to do on this hole. So here, I'm just trying to lay up. All I want to do is just kind of hit out to the right, let it come back, and you can see I just come right over the top, and you can see I'm happy because it hit the tree and bounced out. Not this far out, I had to actually punch out. So this this was another chance here. This time this was for the birdie, and I hit this just another solid wedge shot. And you can tell I really am getting really solid contact, and I ended up right below the hole where I wanted to be, putting uphill, and it just slices over to the right. But I was happy with the putt, and I'll take my bogey from where I was. Here, dogleg right, par 4, just hit it really solid, ran out of fairway again. One probably should have aimed just a little more to the right, but still, this is something I was really happy with. 155 yards, 7 iron, and that's just so much. You can hear I'm saying I hit it so good, and I did, but I just pushed it a lot, and but I made the recovery here. You can tell it has eyes for the hole right there, but it comes up just a little bit short. I have a chance here to make the par. Again, my putting kind of let me down, and this time, it was a decent putt, but it wasn't, it wasn't what I was used to. I consider myself a decent putter, so that was kind of unfortunate. Par 3 here, we were kind of confused, or we were kind of not sure what was the yardage here, how it was really going to play. It said 145, and it played a lot shorter than that. So I went long, and then I chipped it, and I went long on that, and then I wanted to make this for par, just missed. And here I want to show Jesse's swing real quick. Jesse's got incredible lag in his swing. If you see here in the slow-mo, I'm not a golf teacher by any means, but I know what I'm looking for at least. And if you look at Jesse's swing, it's really actually pretty interesting. He's got tremendous lag. It just kind of has some things that need to be looked at. So if you have any advice for him, make comments below, please. That'd be something we definitely need to take a look at all together. So, and then so of course my drive, just pushed it out to the left, or yeah, I didn't push it, I basically hooked over the top and had to punch out again. This was a decent punch out actually, all things considered, but overall not bad. And I've got a shot here, I just need a chip, and you hear I'm still making good sound. It's a good pitch there, a little long, or a little pin high actually, and then just need to try to make this putt. Unfortunately I missed it, and that was the end of the round. I finished so I want to show you guys my swing by swing recording of just my round and the rounds I've played. So kind of interesting here, showing a 90 from the day before we played, and that was using Jim's method only. I didn't record it. My swing shot was acting up, so I was a little frustrated with that round, but I understand that's definitely going to happen. I know that exactly that it's going to happen. And I wanted to record, like I said at the beginning of this current episode, is I really wanted to focus on just playing, honestly, not even caring about any swing method or anything like that. I just wanted to play and just go to something natural. My dad has been talking to me about that, and it's like, just swing the club, make good contact, and I know it's all well. He doesn't understand all the different methods and everything, and he doesn't need to. He's owned his swing, I'm not, he can shoot good scores too, and so, and Jesse's a good example of somebody I taught him how to play the game of golf, but I taught him in the way I learned, where a lot of different methods, and not all of them were good, and not all of them were necessary. He eventually had to figure out all the things that I mentioned and filter out what worked for him, and so that's something that I'm not surprised of where I'm at, of kind of trying to figure out my golf game. This round I played here, though, the St. Andrews one, the score of 86. We're going to look at that, of what I just recorded and showed you guys. So 45 on the front, not great. 41 on the back, best back nine, or best nine of anything I've played in a very long time for a full 18. So I was very happy with that 41, despite some of the squares you see with the bogeys. But I was also very happy with the front nine. I had a string of 5 pars. The only problem was when I did screw up, they were inflated to double bogeys and triple bogeys. So those sevens, 3 sevens, that's not a good sign. But at the same time, overall, that's really, some of those were just bad drives. I think that was primarily the weakness today, and then also the putting. But if we scroll down a little bit more, I don't know if any of you guys use swing by swing, but this is great because it records a lot, and then it compares it to how you've done over the course of the other rounds. So on number 1, it kind of shows the drive, the penalty, and the amount of putts. So you see a lot more threes, and I'm not usually a 3 putter. I consider my putting very good, and so I've been trying this different putting, just my own natural shoulder putter, and I need to kind of go back to what made me really good was just staying on my right side and hitting top spin on it, and I'll have a video out for that because some people on GolfWorks have asked about how that's done, what that looks like, and it's nothing revolutionary. It's probably just my own interpretation of it. So but I thought this was interesting, the score comparison, as it goes through, and my birdie's 0.25, and then the amount of pars, though, compared to what I've been doing, 4.75, and I got 9 pars in this round. I think that's pretty incredible for me and something I can build off of. The bogeys though was right on the average, but the double bogeys were also there, and then more than double bogeys was really what hurt me this round. So average scoring on the par 3s at 3.2 compared to a 3.73. The par 4s is really what got me. The par 5s I actually did decent on. So it's nice to see this because I'm getting better. And then the putts though, this is what kind of confirms to me that I need to kind of look at what is most natural for me. So 2.11 to an average of 1.92, and then the putts and everything else. So something to look at. But really some positives again. Greens in regulation 9. That's really solid for me, and that's in line with the amount of pars I have, which are also 9. So good sign for me. 3 and then 1, 4 and 2.5. So really par 5s to get have 2 of those in regulation. 0.75 where it usually is. So again, and then we look at the other side of things with my driving. I'm driving way off to the right. I'm pushing in this round like crazy, and I've done that probably a little bit more often, but really I've been hitting it pretty straight, and this was primarily with Jim's method. So it's something to look at, where I thought that the strength of a conventional swing would be the driving capability. It actually makes sense that Jim's method is going to get me more straight. Now it's just about contact, and now this is what I can focus on the range, and I really just need to put in the time. I have been trying to go to the range all week and just have not been able to. But once I get out there, it's going to be Jim's method. And Jesse and I, my buddy who was visiting from Mississippi, we had a good talk about this. He talked about, made some great points. He said, Matt, you're 5'7", you're not very big. You can, you've got wide shoulders, broad guy, got a little weight to you. I'm working on that. But at the same time, a rotational swing or conventional swing makes more sense in terms of me getting the ball up in the air and getting decent contact, and he made some good points. Jim's pretty tall guy, and makes really great contact with plenty of leverage. I'm starting to feel like it's very much arm dependent, even though Jim talks about how it's an internal feeling of intent, and I guess I just struggle with thinking that way, but it's just something I have to kind of get used to it. I have to kind of keep ingraining it in my head and not giving up on it. So I know rounds like this where I don't use this method may seem like I'm backtracking. What it really means is I'm trying to make sure I've covered all the parts that I can say that, I have this in my back pocket. I can go back to this anytime I want. Well, that gives me a safety net, and it's never gonna make me, I'm never ever I'm never going to be able to commit to Jim's method if I don't bury the hatchet, so to speak, burn the ship, so to speak, on the conventional method. So I have to validate it too, though. I have to say, okay, I'm getting my 7-iron 155 yards, and that's really good for a short guy like me to hit my 7-iron that far, and then with Jim's method, and I'm hitting at the average distance of 145, but I know it's because I'm not accomplishing the fundamentals of closed shoulders, downward circular strike. It's not, I know what I'm not doing, and then it's just dependent on how much longer can I wait to really get it right. So, but I'm trying to stick with it. And so these are the stats, guys. I thought it's pretty cool to see all this stuff. If you haven't signed up already, or if you haven't heard of it before, but Swing by Swing, it does a GPS. It's really cool. I don't work for them or anything like that. I just thought one of my buddies on Operation Sports, on TGC Tours, told me about this. Jimmy Sheridan did, and so he said, check it out, add your friend, you can see their round being played and everything. So I thought that was really cool. But this is just a cool little app that I'm going to kind of use to kind of give an idea of where I'm coming from, what I'm working on, and kind of compare my rounds. So it's nice to see that I've got potential in there, and just a couple strokes here and there to shave off and get a little bit better. But sorry for the super long video, guys, but I hope you're able to watch till the end. As always, make your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell me what it is you struggle with the most when it comes to commitment on golf. What is it you struggle with? Because I think that's really what's beautiful about this game is it's just like life. You learn about things by doing them, not just by sitting there and analyzing them the whole time. You do it, you experience it, and that makes you better. For it, because now you have something to compare it to. And that's kind of what I'm going through right now. These inner battles may look like a step back or whatever, but they're not your inner battles, they're mine, and they're gonna make me better as I learn this process, and as I document it too is gonna be number one, because it's gonna hold me accountable to what I'm talking about. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching this one. I've got a round scheduled to play on Sunday morning. Today is June 10th, so I'll be playing June 12th, 6 a.m. Not sure if I'll be able to get much recording for that one. I'll be with my dad. Hopefully we're going to make it a quick round because we got some things to do afterwards. My swing shot's been acting up. Hopefully it'll work and record everything I need it to do. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching this. Take care. Stay tuned.